because there's one thing I did not mention. Since my first surgery in 2011, I lost sight. I couldn't handle the pain. That was just some days I couldn't complete my task because I had to deal with the pains. I forget. Sometimes I'll go out and I don't put out on a pitch, and I would just be surprised because most people will be looking at me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I forgot to put on a perch.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Siam, and I'm your host Lucia Khetwane, and joining me today is Sesi Mmaphuthi waga Maboya. Oh man, welcome.
Thank you.
Finally, we are here today.
Yeah. I know I've been postponing and
Yeah.
postponing. Yeah.
Yeah, what matters is that you are here today.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming. And I know that you have an incredible journey that you would like to share with us. But before we can, tag along into your journey, please just do a small introduction on who you are, where you grew up, and what you do and what brings you here today.
Small introduction. So I think small introductions are for small stories, but yeah. So kina Mmaphuthi or Maboya, I'm from the village in Limpopo.
Okay.
I was born and bred there, went to a school there in the village, a primary and a high school. Obviously came to Joburg and we come by job. I've studied commerce, and I'm a compliance and governance specialist. I'm a mother of 3
Okay.
lovely children,
Uh-huh.
and I'm unmarried.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not sure. This question doesn't come more often lately, so I don't know what I'm leaving out. But that's exactly who I am. I
Okay.
love taking walks in nature. I love
Lovely.
talking to plants and birds, and that's me.
Okay.
I spend most of my time, if I'm not working or with my children or I'm not cooking, in mindfulness. That's who I am.
Okay. I know a lot of people that, like talking to plants and are more connected to nature are spiritual people. Can you say that you are a spiritual person?
I don't know what a spiritual person is. I've heard people say that about me a lot, especially when they see my reaction to things, my reaction to even leaves or nature things.
And it's so fulfilling.
Yes, and sometimes I get messages. I look at something and then it's not like messages of something that's going to happen or whatever. It's kind of like encouragement. Like I could be going through something and I don't know how to express it or how I'm going to get out of it.
Wow.
And I see something of nature and it actually just speaks to what I'm actually going through, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So like there are times when a person just lose their momentum, and I look at a plant that looks like it's dying, or it looked like it was dying a few weeks ago, and now it's just getting this nice green leaf, and I'm like, never lose hope.
Yeah. Wow.
So things like that.
Phew.
Yeah.
Wow.
And with my story that I'm obviously going to tell today, that's why I'm here. We're actually just going to talk about the journey that I've had to go through of losing my eye, my left eye.
Okay.
I think it taught me a lot of things, and it actually changed me. If I say every day I look at myself and I say, yo, I changed. if you say how and why, like literally everything about me changed. If my mother was going to come and sit here and tell you about me, I would say that's not me. She's
Totally
not talking
different
about me. I'm a
person.
totally different person. So that journey, that trauma changed me.
Sure.
It didn't change me for the worse though.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it didn't change me for the worse because I believe that there was a purpose. I had to go through that trauma and the whole process and having to get to where I make a decision that I'm not going to take the pain anymore.
Yeah.
Get rid of the eye. So I said to my doctor, get rid of the eye. You know, she's been telling me that, Joan, do you really want to come to surgery every 6 months or 3 months? You know, every year we see you. When you come, all the people here at reception, they already know you. Joan, and you come here, and you know you're going to surgery to try and, you know, work on the pain. Is that the life you want to choose for yourself? But I was self-conscious.
Sure.
Yeah. So I don't know if you want me to actually let's talk about the facts of what happened.
Yeah, just take us through the whole process where
Yeah.
it all began.
Yeah, how I got here. I went through trauma. You know, it was a physical thing
Oh.
on my left eye. Years ago, my second child was not born yet. I remember I had a very big blue eye, and I had never used makeup.
Oh.
And I remember my manager actually had to take me to one of the shops to get me makeup so we can just hide,
Cover it up.
cover it up, because I did go to the doctors. They did check the eye. You know, at times when you go through trauma, especially with internal organs, you don't see at that time the
true.
extent of the damage.
Yeah.
So we didn't know then. I didn't know then the extent of the damage of that trauma to my eye until just a year or 2 years after I gave birth to my second child. In fact, it was in 2011. Yeah. It was in 2011 because I remember my first surgery where they had to actually put something in my eye, like a valve in my eye. It was in November. It was in November on the 15th. So while I went through that trauma, I went through lasers, surgeries, and so what happened to my eye affected the nerve at the
nerve,
back of my eye, which was responsible to deliver the fluid.
Okay.
Right? So that nerve blocked. So it wasn't doing what it was supposed to do because it was blocked. So the fluid will sit there. So what the doctor had to do, the ophthalmologist, they had to now put a valve in my eye to help with the flow of that fluid.
Okay.
So that valve had like things like that was like nerves that would take the fluid from the one side to the other side.
Okay.
Yes. So over time, that valve is called the Ahmed's valve. You know, I still remember these names. Over time, that valve blocked. So when it blocks, I go through a lot of pain. You can actually see my eye here on the side where the valve was will even be bigger, and it becomes so painful. So that fluid apparently. So no, I'm not really an ophthalmologist, but I've had to learn a lot of these things. That fluid helps the pressure in the eye. So there's a certain number, there's a certain pressure your eye has to be on. But then my pressure was the pressure on my left eye was actually on about 10 when it's supposed to actually be around 4 or 3. So that was supposed to control the pressure. It's like when you have high blood pressure,
yeah.
you take medication to do that. So that was like the pressure in the eye. So we were trying to actually control it. So while that didn't work, and while I had that problem, it then caused glaucoma on my left eye.
Okay.
So I developed the open angle glaucoma on my left eye. Then I started then having to deal with that. It was a painful thing when the pressure was high. It was really painful. So I literally had to live with taking painkillers. If it was as terrible as it would get, having to go into a surgery, they would do a laser. And there's a certain surgery that I used to do where they would reduce, the brown part of your eye.
Okay.
That's the one that was affected, so that you don't get more pain.
Oh.
But after 2-3 years, we realized that that surgery is not really helping, because I still keep getting the pain. I still keep coming back. And the doctor once asked me that, my friend, she actually ended up calling me her friend because she saw me more often. What do you think about an artificial eye? Artificial eye. Yo, it doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought about a lot of things. I thought about my upbringing. I thought about where I came from. I thought about the stigma. I thought about a whole lot of things, because, well, this, as funny as it sounds, when growing up, there was a boy who actually, wanted to date me. And because I spoke to him at night, I said, yes, I'll date you.
Okay.
And my cousin said, are you sure? I said, yeah, but I didn't know him. I had visited my aunt. And the following day when I saw that guy, his one eye was smaller and discolored.
Oh.
And I said, I don't want you. I said, no, you're not the guy. You're not the person I saw yesterday. No. Back then, right? It's the stigma. It's what we are made to believe when growing up, that when you don't look exactly like the other people, then you're not normal. Then you lack something. Before I made a decision to say that I'm going to actually remove the eye, it took over a year for the doctor to actually convince me. She was shocked when I said, I'm ready. Do we have a date available? One December, I used my eye drops. I was rushing to go to a Christmas party.
Okay.
And then I used my eye drops. It was like, and I was like,
Yeah.
and then those eye drops are not meant for the other eye. They were to actually numb the eye so that I don't feel the pain. And then I started losing sight on my right eye. That was like a wake-up call for me, because I was like, yo, I'm so grateful for the gifts of seeing, even though I can see with one eye. Because there's one thing I did not mention. Since my first surgery in 2011, I lost sight on the left eye. Even though I didn't know then, I started noticing my eye becoming squint because it was just becoming like a lazy eye.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah.
sometimes it just doesn't move because it does
Yeah.
not really have to
Yeah.
see anything. And I noticed the other time when I was going into a shop that sells food, and I went straight onto the glass. I didn't see there was glass there, and because my measurement of distance has changed because I actually now use one eye to see.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. I didn't know that.
Sure.
I didn't know that until I was actually bumping into people
Yeah.
on my left, like bumping into objects on my left. I'm always hurt on my left hand side because I'm walking so closer to things or to people, but I don't realize because I don't see them. So that's when I started realizing that actually I can't see.
So all along,
All along
you were not
for
aware.
years, I was not aware that I can't see.
Ah.
The one time that, yes, I was not aware that I can't see. I didn't even want to go and do a driver's license because I thought I was going to be declined because
Yeah,
one eye doesn't see. I
yes.
didn't know that, you can still drive with your one eye,
Yeah.
because at that time I just thought my life was over,
Man.
Yeah. So what happened that day when I had to make a decision that I'm going to remove this eye. It's okay, let me be the one-eyed queen, whatever you're gonna call me. But I was self-conscious.
Yeah.
I was worried about what people are going to say. I was worried about beauty. Will I still look beautiful? I was worried. I was worried about
look
a whole lot of
attractive? Will you
things.
still,
Exactly.
things like that.
Will I still be able to go out?
Sure.
So, because I was gradually losing sight, it was not necessarily that I was losing sight, it was just the numbness.
Okay.
But that numbness went away after a few hours. Like the following day, my eye was back to normal.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And I could see, right? Could see clearly. And then I called the doctor, and then, I went, and then, I was seen by a different doctor because she was away because it was December. And then she asked me which drops you use. I tell her, she said, are you sure you did not put these drops on that eye? Because there's really nothing wrong with your eye. Your eye's like perfect eyesight. Your eye can even see things that both my eyes can't see.
Yeah. Sure.
That's the day. And then she said, why don't you, I see here your doctor says that she's spoken to you about this. There's two types of surgeries. There's a surgery where they remove the whole eye, the white part, the brown and the white part.
Okay.
But with glaucoma, it's the brown part that's affected,
okay.
right? So I, without knowledge, thought they're going to take out the whole eye, and how am I going to look, And what I didn't understand was that they're just going to take out the brown part. But because I'm also not clued about the eye, I didn't know that the brown part of the eye is just like a paper.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like something you can just remove, and then inside is the fluid. And that
is it like contact lenses? Or
yes,
is
it
it?
yes. I still have it inside a thing. It's like they remove that thing, and then inside is a fluid. It's just covering. So the white part of the eye is it's like it's the one that holds the muscles and everything, and the fluid and all that. So what they then did, what she explained was, we're not going to remove your whole eye thing, because I was worried about, now I'm gonna look different. This part is gonna be bigger, this other side is gonna be smaller.
Yeah.
And I was so self-conscious. And I think at that time, I did not know the definition of beauty.
Yo.
Because what happened to me the day of my surgery, so what they did after removing the brown part of my eye is they created like a ball. It's a silicone ball.
Okay.
So they put a silicone ball to close that space there. So then they could actually still even make me a contact lens,
Oh, okay.
but like a thicker contact, not like the contact
the normal
lenses, the
ones
normal
that
ones,
we know,
but the one
yeah.
that they will make, that would have to look like the other one, because
Okay.
I don't have the brown part of the eye anymore. So otherwise
Yeah.
my eye would just be white.
Yes,
Because
yes.
even that silicone ball is white. So they put the silicone ball in. So all the other time before I could afford to buy myself the eye, the artificial eye, I had the white eye.
Oh, yes.
I
Okay.
think you remember.
Yeah.
So I had a kind of like a glass. It's like a contact lens that I was putting just to protect the eye, and also to preserve the structure, that it does not close.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So how long was it? It was in January of 2013 when I went to do that.
Okay.
That January, the end of Jan, or the 1st or 2nd of Feb, the whole of January, I was going through something that I can't even explain. Going through so many emotions. I even thought that I'm not going to make it. Wrote so many letters for my kids.
Oh my God.
And then I was so worried about what are people going to say about me. People are going to keep looking at me. People are going to be asking me a lot of
A lot of
questions.
questions.
Do I have the energy, the time, the capacity to do that? Right after the surgery, I felt so relieved. It's like they've just taken a new person and put that person inside of me. I didn't care about what anyone would think of me for the fact that I look different. I have one eye that's got a brown thing in, and I have one eye that's just white and has none. I didn't care.
Yeah. Is that when change started happening?
Yeah.
You now becoming a different person.
Me now becoming a different person, me actually accepting myself that for who I am. I said, like, this is me. I went into the mirror and I looked and I saw this beautiful woman. I'm like, wow, I am so beautiful. And here I was worried about, am I still going to be beautiful? Am I still? So it means then I didn't know what is the definition of beauty.
Yeah.
Because the definition of, beauty starts from the inside.
Yeah, true.
I saw myself as the most beautiful woman with one eye. And I even started calling myself the one-eyed queen. And well, I wore a perch, and I love making, clothes. So when they make me this skit, they needed to also make me a perch that would match the skit.
Yeah, I was looking at your pictures and I'm like, you are carrying it so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I embraced it. I embraced myself. I said, this is me, and this is permanent. I've lost an eye. There is really nothing I
There's
can do
nothing you
about
can
it.
do.
It is up to me to decide today how I live with one eye.
True.
And I'm not going to let the eye define who I
Exactly.
am.
Oh,
It does not even have any impact on my goals. It does not stop me from doing anything, even though I still had to deal with the stigma, right? There were days where I didn't want to get out of the house because I was just so tired of going to the mall. I started getting used to doing a lot of things online because when you go to the mall, people look at you. So many people look past you and then they look back. And then they are asking themselves about you.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to say this, but most of people of my color are the ones that makes perceptions. I don't know if perception is the right word
I
to
get
use. And they already decided what happened to me before. They would just say, shame, yours, there's a word they use that I don't like. And I said, why? Like they were feeling sorry for me. And I said, why? Where is the pain? What pain? Where do you feel the pain? What do you think happened to me?
Exactly.
That you feel that you can say, like, there's a word I'm trying to find. Shame.
Oh, the word shame. Ish.
Shame. Shame.
Ish.
Mara usale botsana.
Yeah.
I'm like,
There's
I
that
have always been
shame.
beautiful and I'm going to be beautiful
Yes.
with or without the eye, So the one thing I had to deal with before I had the artificial eye, I can't say it's one or what, it's that one that everywhere I go, people had to look at me. The courageous ones would ask me, what happened to your eye? And if I had time, I would smile and say it's a long story. And kids at school, they knew the time I was coming to fetch my children, and they would all be gathering there so they can just see me. I felt like a celebrity at some time.
Plus kids are
Especially when it
curious.
was coming from kids, because kids are kids.
Yeah.
You know, and then at church, so these kids, they called me the other child said, I'm going to make a lot of money in the boat. Way. They were relating to movies. And okay, the other one said, what happened to your eye? I said, I got injured. And they said, oh, no wonder you look like a pirate. And kids are kids.
Yeah.
And then I go to the malls and some kids, they just come and give me hugs. So that's the love I got, beside the shame that most adults gave me. And I embraced that. And beside that, the time I had actually posted about my journey and that this is the new me, like, accept me, embrace me as I am. I got a lot of calls, a lot of messages of how do you do it? How do you carry it? My daughter was involved in a car accident since when she was 7, and she's now 14, and we have changed schools 3 or 4 times already because she gets bullied, because she does not have the confidence. She can't handle the fact that every day someone has to look at her like she's different. And she said, how do you I feel like she feels like she doesn't have the courage to live like everyone else.
Just a normal life.
Yeah, so I made a lot of friends that we would talk to each other. How do you feel today? And building the confidence. So most people were like, could not understand, why do you have so much confidence? And then I said, it does not take. What must it take for me? It comes from the inside. I can't explain it myself. But I knew that there are times where I was not confident enough. I know that at those times when I had to take pictures, I have to use different angles that made me comfortable, And I am the one who knows what I was dealing with inside, that I didn't want people outside to see, But I started embracing it by just, like, sometimes just putting a flower here when I take a picture, or, just making a joke about my eye. Those are the other things that helped me accept that I don't have an eye there. I have one eye.
Yeah.
That's how I can actually sit here today and talk about it without crying. That changed the day I went for the surgery to remove the eye. I can tell you I cried almost every day in January of 2023 actually. I cried almost every day because I didn't know what was going to happen after the surgery. But what happened after the surgery was just a new me, a new person.
Yeah.
And I also couldn't believe that this is me. I don't care. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
And this is me sitting here now.
You are sitting here now.
And then I'm beautiful.
You are so beautiful. Like, even when you had the patch on, you were still looking gorgeous. Like,
Thank you.
yeah. So now with the family, people around you, people close to you, how did they take it, and the support? Did you receive, the support that you needed from them?
I can say that my circle is a safe space.
That's good.
So I'm talking about my friends, my colleagues, my family, the way they embraced me and accepted me for who I am. It was unbelievable. At first, before, when I had to reveal and send my pictures and say, tomorrow, I'm going to show you how I look. Don't be shocked. Obviously, it had to be the close people first.
Yeah.
My aunts, they cried. My dad didn't know what to say. And when my dad, when when he feels like he's out of he can't do anything about a situation, he does that. He just keeps quiet, and you can see he's hurt. But at that time, I was like, but guys, can you imagine the freedom of living your life that is not dictated by a small part of your body? Because the eye that would make me not even want to see or talk to anyone in a day because I couldn't handle the pain, that was just some days I couldn't work, complete my task because I had to deal with the pain. The painkillers didn't work anymore. I even used to take the syrup that we give to kids for the pain, and it actually worked better than what the doctors gave me. Yes. So I was like, guys, do you understand how, like, I feel, my life is so beautiful right now. I'm living right now. I was slowly dying because of the pain that I had to go through every day. And I can now not worry just because I have one and you have two, And my family started calling me those names that I used to call myself with because I wanted them to be comfortable. I wanted them to be, because, there's always this stigma about when your eye is discolored, or you have less fingers or something. There's always been a whole lot of things, but I made my people, my circle, comfortable. That I would give, I would say, meet your one-eyed girl today, or your one-eyed girl today is not feeling it, or the eye today is doing whatever, or look at the page, look at me today. I actually embraced it, and they took it from me and accepted it like that. So I guess that's how they also healed from that. Because I can't say that I remember I had a call with my aunt, and we couldn't finish that call because she was crying. It was a video call. She was crying, looking at me like she saw someone different, and she was like, but I didn't cry.
Yeah.
And I was like, I cried the whole of January because I was worried about how I'm gonna look. And now that I look this way and I feel so good about myself, I'm just going to let you cry, get it over with and get used to the fact that it's me. And when they ask me about the eye, how do you feel? I'm like, I feel gorgeous. I feel good. In fact, I forget. I forget that I don't look like
Yeah.
you. I forget. Sometimes I'll go out and I don't put out on a pitch, and I would just be surprised because most people will be looking at me, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I forgot to put on a patch because I was going to the garage or just to the shop to buy bread, and the patch was helping because it was covering that thing that people had most questions
Yeah.
about. So they didn't know what was under the perch. Was there an eye?
Yeah.
Or was just that there's something wrong with my eye or whatever. So most people, when I was wearing the perch, didn't know what was happening,
Sure.
So I guess that's how I embraced the perch thing. And I just started making different types of perches.
Yeah.
And my friends would go on sites and send me prices and see, look at this. I think you would love this. I think I'm gonna order you this. And I'm like, get it, And they would, because it's difficult to really get purchase.
Yeah.
I had a
Yeah.
leather one that was made by one of the guys, an ocularist that makes the artificial eyes.
Yeah.
So he made that brown one. It's very beautiful. It's so close to my heart. I love it. And then my hairdresser, the guy that makes my clothes,
Yeah.
would also then now and then make me the purchase. But even though it was difficult at first because he didn't know how to make it, and I would guide, let's do like this. Okay, no, let's change it. Let's cut it here. But
Sure.
I miss that life sometimes.
You miss it. Okay.
The one part I miss about it is the children part of it. That is who I am. The fact that now I have an artificial eye, I still have one eye. The truth is I have one eye. So I could be walking around with two eyes. I'm not doing it that I'm trying to deceive people. It's normal to want to look normal.
Yes.
And to get away from the stigma,
The stigma.
of
Yeah.
having to always answer, always have to be
Yeah.
looked at.
Yeah.
And it also gives attention to the people that you are with.
True.
Because at school, the kids started describing me. It's the one with the one eye. When they're
Yes.
describing me to the,
Yeah.
and if they say someone else was looking for you, and they say who, they said that lady with one eye, even at church. So I didn't want myself to be described like that.
Yeah.
That is one description I didn't want. That's why I always just romanticize it. The queen, the one-eyed queen.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sure.
all those names.
Wow. Yeah. I love the circle that you have. We need such people in our lives, people that will support us, people that will, go through the journey with us without judging, without looking at us in a certain way. So I'm glad that you had such people around you, and I bet that's probably one of the things that helped you in coping and also accepting yourself.
Yeah.
As much as you were writing letters to your kids and thinking that what, it's over, but I'm sure the people around you were also your strength.
They were my strength. I don't think I would have had the confidence, the courage to get out of the house some of the days if they were not there, because I knew that I had a circle of people that accept me for who I am
Yes.
and are not judging me and are not asking me questions. I bet you there's still some people in my circle that didn't know what happened. They just knew I had a problem with the eye.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to put them in a position where they would actually start hating the person that caused the trauma. Because I had forgiven that person at the time when it happened. Because even then, we didn't even know that that trauma is going to have the after effects. I had to forgive that person and move on
Yeah.
so that it happened. So if I had to carry on and have this this thing, you know what, motho ole
Yeah.
did this to me, and I don't think the person also wanted me to lose the eye.
Yes. Yes.
We never knew that it will get here.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we do things without thinking. So that's why I would say we have to pause. We have to learn to pause.
Yeah.
We have to learn to control our emotions.
Yes. True.
We have to learn to be self-aware. We become aware of who we are, that when something happens, we are going to react in a certain way, that we have the the energy to control how we react to it. That's when you know yourself.
Yeah.
When you know nah, I don't like that. And if that is gonna start happening, this is what I'm going to do. You then learn how to control yourself when that happens, because you already know that this is me. I react this I don't like it. So self-awareness is very important. Self-acceptance is the best.
Yeah.
And I think educating the people around us. Self-love is the most important thing. If you cannot love yourself, or you do not know how to love yourself, you are not going to be able to love other people. I think the people around me, they are very aware of their love language is that one. It's giving, because they made my life so easy.
Nah. Sure.
They made my life so easy. They accepted me. They didn't ask me a whole lot of questions. Sometimes I wanted them to, because I wanted to put them at ease. But there is this thing, where we are scared of the answer,
True.
because we don't know how we're going to react to the answer.
Yes.
So we don't ask questions. And we end up assuming what could have happened. So I know most people in my families didn't, they didn't know what happened. Even my parents, because sometimes we protect.
Yeah.
We protect people that
True.
that hate us because we love them. So we protect them, because if we don't, then we are showing their weaknesses to our families, and our families have the power to encourage or discourage us or dislike them.
Yeah.
So at that point, you do not
Yeah.
want to say anything negative.
Yes.
You make up stories, So I think I know that I didn't tell what had happened. I just woke up and my eye started doing things,
Yeah. Yes.
But I knew, and I went back to the doctor. I went back to the hospital. I asked for my file. They did do the scan, but they didn't see anything then at the time. And the doctor said that, you need now and then you need to keep on coming and checking, because sometimes when you get into an accident, things you don't know exactly internally where you are hurt, and it can show up later in the years. That's exactly what had happened.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Our time. Our time is up now. Yo, thank you so much for for sharing your story. Thank you so much for coming through. You have shown so much strength. You have shown. I think you have given a lot of people out there hope. Just by you being you. When we see you on social media, you'll never even think that, okay, she's going through a whole lot of emotions. She's going through that and that. Because you showed us beauty. So that's the only thing that's stuck in our minds, the beauty and the strength, and the hope, that you brought. As much as we might not be facing the same situations, but to see somebody, carrying something so well, it also gives you hope that whatever it is that you are also going through, you can also carry it well. You can also, gain the strength, So I learned a lot from from your journey. I learned a lot from your journey, and I don't know. Reflecting back on your journey, what are the things that you can say, Jorge, you have learned about yourself, and a resilience? What
You've
you
just answered your question you asked me.
but according to you,
Yeah. The things that I've learned about myself in this journey, it was that I am resilient. Yes. I quickly come back. I don't let my problems define me.
Good.
Every day when I wake up, I actually say, whatever it is that I'm going through, say, you are not going to make my day. You are not permanent. And I am me.
Yeah.
You are just something that is happening now. You're not happening to me. You're just happening in this environment that I find myself in. So I've created that environment myself. I've created a safe space within myself
Yeah.
that even if today I'm going to wake up feeling like the world is against me, whose world is it
Yeah.
that is against me?
Yeah.
What do I have to offer to this world? Let me show the world what I am made of.
Yes.
And that's what I've learned, that I didn't know I had that courage. I didn't know I had that courage until I had to go through that, because I was self-conscious. And the one biggest thing that I've learned, it's the definition of beauty. It's not how you look. It's not the fact that like you have big lashes, you have your brows are sitting a certain way, or you've got big lips, or you have a big nose like mine. That's not what defines beauty,
Sure.
So
Wow.
that's that.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. I really hope that a lot of people will learn a lot from this conversation that we've just had. Okay, our time is up. Ne? I wanted you to do something,
Okay.
but our time is up. So I'll just give you an assignment.
Okay.
You can do it at home, and then I'll just give it to them. Ne?
Okay.
Okay. I wanted to ask if you could write a letter to yourself about you now, about where you are now. What would you say? So I'll give you an assignment. You can do it at home, and then you can send me the audio, the recording, and they'll just edit in the
Okay.
and whatever advice that you have for people going through the same situation, going through the same journey that you have been through. You can also just give advice on that, and we will Yes, just
Okay,
edit. So,
I'll do that,
yes.
and then I'll send it to you.
Thank you. So are we allowed to use your pictures as well?
You can use my pictures as much
Awesome.
as you want. Okay.
Oh man.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Yeah, I wish you all the best. I don't know if the journey still continues or the journey has ended.
I think the other day I was asked a question: if I were to write a book, what would be the title of that book? I struggled. I had so many titles, you know. I had so many titles.
Yeah.
Judging by the way things are taking place now, I will not say the journey has ended. The journey has just begun for other people.
Yeah.
I have also just decided that in spaces that I find myself in, or those environments, I need to be the voice.
Yeah.
It does not have to be about an I, because it's not always about the I.
Yeah.
People are going through a lot.
True.
And they don't know how to deal with it or how to accept themselves. So I want to be that person that is able to encourage someone to see things differently, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'd say the journey has ended. Maybe the one other journey, maybe the one road in the journey
Yeah.
has ended, and then we
Yeah.
are at a T junction.
Yes.
We must decide where
Which
we are
route we're
going.
taking. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's how I can actually say it.
Okay. Oh. All right, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you guys for watching. I hope that this will inspire you and give you hope. If you do have any story that you want to share with us, you are more than welcome. Do not hesitate. We are here. You could be the next person sitting next to me next time. So please do not forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, and share the video as well. From us, it's goodbye. Mwah.
Thank you. Dear Mmaphuti, firstly, I'm sorry I did not show up for you earlier than I could. I wish I had been there earlier, so we did not have to endure the pain for so many years. I did not show you the self-love, compassion, and care you needed, and you lost all the confidence, the hope, and the self-esteem. All along, I made you feel worthless, self-conscious, because I did not accept you. I let what happened to you define you. I'm sorry I rejected you, but Mmaphuti, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of how you changed your view of life. I'm proud of your resilience and how you did not allow that pain to dictate how you should continue with life. I'm proud of how you fought and how you never gave up and never let the pain break you, and you continue to do so. I'm proud of your ability to love even when you were unloved. I love how you never gave up and never lost hope and never let the people's views of you break you. I am proud of the woman you have become. Mmaphuti, I love how you worked on your healing without fear and shame. I admire how you opened yourself up to healing. You did not let the messy part of healing give up on yourself. I admire how you chose yourself. I admire how you chose life. The breakthrough of self-acceptance is so liberating. The definition of beauty that came from within is overwhelming. Mmaphuti, you taught me so much. You taught me how to not care about what people think of me. I admire your bravery, courage, and confidence and self-awareness. I admit it was not as easy. It was not an easy road trip, but look at us now. We are here. We can tell the story without pausing to wipe the tears of pain. The scar will remain our story. It will always remind us of the pain we have been through. It remains and forms part of who we are. The one-eyed queen. Thank you for shaping me into the woman I am today. Thank you for carrying me and not losing hope on life, for giving me the strength and being resilient. You are remarkable. Thank you for forgiving yourself for not knowing better. Thank you for having the courage to pick up the pieces. I love how you found yourself through the pain, how you discovered the things you loved and loved doing in the environment you loved being in. We survived the stigma and we are still on a journey of how to get through life with the difficulties and challenges that comes with monocular vision. We are still learning, and I love how we are able to unapologetically state when we are unable to do something due to the barrier. Lastly, I'm sorry that we can't play tennis because of our ability to judge distance. I want to know you are worthy and loved. I admire your resilience and confidence. And I'd like to encourage everyone going through trauma or the loss to practice mindfulness, to appreciate themselves for who they are, to not let the world define them, to not let the world define their beauty. Because my definition of beauty did not come from how I look, how I dress, how I walk, how I speak. It came from within. It is something that I cannot explain, but it's start happening when you start accepting who you are and being proud of that. I'm grateful for the person that you are. Mmaphuthi.